Shalom, it's the brother Kalaya coming at you with another lesson. Prior to getting started, I'd like to give all glory, honors, and prayers unto Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua by Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to all for elect. Shalom. Alright. In today's lesson, I'm probably gonna name this something along the lines of being satiated, alright, by this word. Okay. Now, before I get into the lesson, this lesson was inspired by the brother Shaman, alright, and he also go by the YouTube handle GMS Overdrive 144. Alright, and I was watching this video earlier, and he was going into the Jeffrey Epstein case and things of that nature, and how the the right wing they don't really go for as much as the left wing. Okay, as far as like letting shit die down, but nevertheless, when he started to go into the basically conspiracy theories, alright, he basically was going into those, and prior to the truth, I remember being heavily into conspiracy theories, whether it was the Pizzagate thing, right, these different pedophilia rings, these different rituals, okay? Because when you go down the rabbit hole, and believe you me, the rabbit hole goes deep. All right, these politicians, these rappers, singers, entertainers, actors, all these people, and the Elder Yakanah said the best, man. All these people that you see on the medium known as the TV, right? They have some form of fashion been involved with rituals, okay? Whether it's knowing or unknowing, man. All right, it still serves the same purpose, all right, to confuse the masses, right? To channel dark energy, all right, to worship Satan ultimately. Okay, and the brother was just going into how things that we had to dig deep for, and I'm saying we, because I believe myself to, really, if you preaching the truth, you're a so-called conspiracy theorist, man. All right, I want to prove that real quick. I want to grab that word conspiracy. Let me see. And there's a lot of negative connotations to it, but when you go into the true definition, this is the online etymology, the noun conspiracy, right? It says an agreement, a union. In anatomy, it says literally to breathe together. All right, so a conspiracy, now let's get the word theory. Let's get that. Right. It says theory, online etymology, a noun, a conception, a mental scheme, all right, contemplation, speculation, to look at or view. It says a sight, okay, things looked at, right, and basically to speculate, okay. So a conspiracy theory is people saying something that they're speculating. If you put them all together, right? Conspiracy and theory. When you put them together, it's multiple people being in basically in unison, saying the same things that they see. So a conspiracy theorist in today's time, all right, is a person that's noticing a pattern of things, and predominantly that term is used for public officials, politicians and, you know, like I said, actors, actresses, movie stars, rappers, things of that nature, people in the entertainment business, all right, in which they perform certain rituals and it looks odd, all right, and this is all done by design, all right, it's done that way on purpose. And now more than ever, all right, these different things are being put on Front Street, all right, ultimately being exposed by Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua through the prophets. So I said all of that to say this, you know, I consider myself and brothers in like manner, right? We are conspiracy theorists by definition, okay? We're not the same as the Alex Joneses, the what that dude name is, man, Dabu Sevens, okay, the Richie from Boston's. We're not like those guys, and that's what this video is about. All right, this truth being that outlying factor, because we speak about some of the same things, a lot of the same things. Pretty much, they speak about everything we speak about, but they don't have the truth, so they can't tie it all together. And that's where that word satiated came in at. All right, if you don't know it, I'll bring it up, okay? It's the word satiate. This is a verb on an online etymology. It says, fill to repletion, to satisfy, to feed, to nourish to the full, okay? It says, enough, all right? To fill beyond or over the natural desire, all right? Because in the world, and you know, that's what prompted this video. When I heard the brother going into the Epstein shit and, you know, the piece of gate and all of those things of that nature, it sent me down memory lane when I used to, you know, be in touch with all of those things. All right, watching the different videos that broke down the psyops, okay, the you know, what do you call it, false flag events, all right, things of that nature. And it's crazy enough because I haven't had to do research like that in a while, man, because this truth, it just ties it all in. It's like you can't separate the two. The truth is in line with the things that these people are you know, doing. All right, there's a scripture to prove everything that these people are doing, from pedophilia to cannibalism, all right, to consuming adrenochrome, all right, these different what do you call it, kidnapping rings, you know, all, man, there's a scripture for all of those things, all right? How these people get down in the dark world, all right, in the world where the average person doesn't know what's going on, okay? And when you in the truth, you don't have to do individual, like, and I'm gonna tread lightly when I say that, because that don't mean we don't search up things of that nature. It's just not like we don't separate the two. All right, they one and the same, okay? And it's man, it's refreshing, all right, when you get to back up what you see in the world with a scripture. All right, so I'm done rambling. You got the premise of the video. You got definitions. Let's get it. All right. First and foremost, I want to grab this. This is the book of John, in the 8th chapter, right? 8 and 31, and it reads, and Yahushua, Salakim, then said Yahushua to those Jews which believed on him, if ye continue in my word, then are ye my disciples indeed. All right, so this red letters, this Yahushua speaking, all right, and it's telling you that these men are in the truth, okay? It says, and ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. All right, so when you in a world without this truth, it's like you're searching. It's a never-ending search, because you don't know, you don't have a blueprint, okay? You don't have a game plan, all right? We've been given a game plan of the wicked and the righteous. You see? We've been given that game plan through Yahushua. Okay? Through this ministry, man. All right? So it's no need for us to, basically be weary about what the enemy's doing. We know what they're doing. We know what their goal is. We know what they intend to do. We may not know how they're doing it step by step, but we know the signs. You see? Okay? And that's what I meant by being satiated. That hunger for to know what's coming next has been filled. All right? Has been filled. Okay? I'm gonna grab this, the book of John, the 4th chapter. I'm gonna start at verse 6, and it reads, Now Jacob's well was there. Yahushua, therefore, being wearied with his journey, sat thus on the well, and it was about the 6th hour, there cometh a woman of Samaria to draw water. Yahushua said unto her, Give me to drink. For his disciples were gone away unto the city to buy meat. Then said the woman of Samaria unto him, How is it that thou, being a Jew, askest drink of me, which am a woman of Samaria? For the Jews have no dealings with the Samaritans. Yahushua answered and said unto her, If thou knewest the gift of Yahweh, and who it is that saith to thee, Give me to drink, thou wouldest have asked of him, and he would have given thee living water. The woman said unto him, Sir, thou hast nothing to draw with, and the well is deep. From whence then hast thou that living water? Art thou greater than our father Jacob, which gave us the well to drink thereof, himself and his children and his cattle? Yahushua said unto her, Whosoever drinketh of this water shall thirst again, but whosoever drinketh of the water that I shall give him shall never thirst, but the water that I shall give him shall be in him a well of water springing up into everlasting life. Okay, and that spiritual water is likened unto this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Okay, Salakia for being long-winded. All right, but nevertheless, he was telling her, he's not even talking about, regular water. All right, man, he's talking about spiritual water. All right, the water that satiates. Okay, the water that satisfies. Okay, this truth is like, taking a long walk or exercising or working out in the sun, and you got that cold glass of water, waiting for you, man. That's what this truth is like. Okay, and when you drinking it, it's like it replenishes you. Okay, and that's the reason I brought this particular scripture out, because he literally said, but whosoever drinketh of the water that I shall give him shall never thirst, but the water that I shall give him shall be in him a well of water springing up into everlasting life. Yeah, this water, it not only gives you the game plan, it not only gives you the necessary things that you need to keep going in life, but it also gives you everlasting life, man. All right, there's no conspiracy theorists out there or so-called woke, all right, somebody in the truth, so-called, all right, and I'm not talking about the truth we have. I'm talking about these guys that talk about chakras and things of that nature, third eye open, and motherfuckers who have no guidance, man. No, I'm talking about this real truth. You see, the truth that make you free. Those guys are running rampant, and they got to keep up which we do have to keep up with everything because we're watchmen, but they're keeping up in another sense. They're not being watchmen. All right, they're keeping up because their hunger has not been satisfied. We're keeping up with everything that's going on in the world in order to warn our people, all right, to continue to be shepherds of the house of Israel. You see, to fulfill our duty as prophets. All right. Let me see. Yeah, I get these. I get these just to show the importance of this word being likened unto food, man. All right, and water. Okay. This Ezekiel 3:1, and it reads, "Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, eat that thou findest, eat this roll, and go speak unto the house of Israel. So I opened my mouth, and he caused me to eat the roll. He said unto me, Son of man, cause thy belly to eat, and fill thy bowels with this roll that I give thee. When I did eat it, it was in my mouth as honey for sweetness." You see? Well, I'm gonna read one more. It says, "And he said unto me, Son of man, go get thee unto the house of Israel, and speak with my words unto them." Yeah, that's the point. Okay. So Ezekiel, he ate the roll, which is going into this truth, man. All right, consuming that entire roll. All right, the good, the bad, and the ugly. You see, and I'm gonna grab that in Revelations, the 10th chapter. All right, because this truth have ugly bits with it too, man. Bitter bits. That's what I mean by ugly. Okay, slavery, captivity. Hey, those are the nastiness of the scriptures. Those are the bitter parts. Okay, being in chattel slavery. Okay, being here today as a so-called black or so-called Hispanic, all right, or so-called Indian in today's age, man. All right, those are the bitter parts. Being here in America, which literally means bitter. It goes into bitter, man. Being in bondage. Okay, now I'm gonna read it. It's Revelations chapter 10 and verse 8, and it reads, "And the voice which I heard from heaven spake unto me again, and said, Go and take the little book which is open in the hand of the angel which standeth upon the sea and upon the earth. And I went unto the angel and said unto him, Give me the little book. And he said unto me, Take it and eat it up, and it shall make thy belly bitter, but it shall be in thy mouth sweet as honey. And I took the little book out of the angel's hand and ate it up, and it was in my mouth sweet as honey. And as soon as I had eaten it, my belly was bitter. And he said unto me, Thou must prophesy again before many peoples and nations and tongues and kings." You see? So this book, all right, this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding causes a man to prophesy, right? And this was talking about reincarnation right there. But nevertheless, we read that in Ezekiel, once he swallowed the roll, all right, which is synonymous with this book that is speaking of in Revelations, all right, the angel told him to go prophesy, man. You see? And that's what we're instructed to do. Hey, eat the whole roll. All right? But nevertheless, being satiated with that roll. Okay? You got guys that come in the truth and you know, they seeking more, and man, this is enough for you. And ultimately, if this can't satiate that hunger or fill that hunger, all right, or satisfy that hunger, man, this ain't for you. You know, ultimately, this is not for you. This has the beginning, the middle, and the end. All right, and what's to come. So I'm not, you know, I don't know how much more what Jake looking for. Ultimately, if you can't grab it, it's not for you, man. You know. But like I said, man, that bitterness in the belly, man, that's you know, the different captivities we done been in. All right. and the sweetness goes into, man, how we man, being an Israelite. When you find out you're an Israelite, man, you happy as a motherfucker. Man, I'm a chosen people. What? Hey, the Lord, he only rock with us. All right, he's only dealing with the house of Israel. Man, that's sweet in your mouth when you first getting the truth. You like, man, fuck, man, I'm an Israelite. And that's something to boast about, being an Israelite, man. Right? Because you could be a goddamn devil, a Edomite, a non-pigment having Edomite, or a slant-eyed zipper head, man. A fucking Ammonite. Or a Moabite. My Lord. But the Lord made you to be an Israelite, and that's one of the happiest things. I'm gonna say happiest days of your life, when you realize when you first come into the truth, and you realize you are an Israelite. All right, you start to read Deuteronomy, all right, 28 and 1 through 15. You see the promises. Okay, then the bitter comes when you from 15 all the way to 68. All right, that's when the bitterness comes. When you start to see the curses and start to realize that we've undergone, all right, the wrath of the Lord. Right? But then it gets sweet again, understanding that we're going to be saved from all of this. The Lord has a plan for us, That's the beauty of this thing, okay? That's what I mean by being satiated. See, these people in the world, they're all bent out of shape because they don't know the ending, right? And their ending is different from our ending. Their ending ends with Esau, Edom going with they move, and now they have to fend for themselves. What I mean by going with they move is what? Establishing a new world order, all right? Making the world a totalitarian one world government, okay? The RFID microchip being placed in everybody, okay? No religious freedom, things of that nature, right? That's what I mean by going with they move. Okay, so these people have intentions on living off the grid forever after Edom goes with they move, right? Living in these different fucking little huts in the wood, off grid, and that's no way to live, right? But we have the game plan. The Lord told us that ain't the end. You see? I'm going to read it just for context sake. Right? This second Esdras 6 and 7. And it reads, Then answered I and said, Which shall be the parting asunder of the times, or when shall the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? And he said unto me, From Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born, of him Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. You see? It says the hand of man is betwixt the heel and the hand. Other question, Esdras, asked thou not. You see? So, hey, the angel was getting tight with Esdras, because he's like, listen, this is what it is. You don't need to exceed, because if you read, especially I believe it's in the 4th chapter. Yeah, when you go into the 4th chapter, Esdras was asking some nut shit, right? Which he had a genuine curiosity. But we're concerned with the things that are pertaining to salvation on this side, man. You see? So the angel had to cut Esdras off like, hey, that ain't for you on this side, man. You asking about things, heavenly things, bro. Hey, be concerned with how to escape this earthly vessel, right? How to endure into the end and get you a angelic body. Those things are to come in the future, right? When we be granted, Lord willing, all right, we have that number with salvation and enter into the kingdom of heaven, then those sorts of questions, all all right, can be answered. Okay, and if you're not familiar with the questions, go read 2nd Esdras, the 4th chapter. Around, really, you really can start at the top, but the points are in 22. Okay. You know, Uriel had to tell him, man, stop asking me all of those questions. All right, and that's how 2/3 of the, and I'm not even gonna say 2/3, but the world is in general. Okay. They got a whole bunch to say, but they're not saying anything. You know, the different Alex Jones, and I will say this because the scriptures tell you, I believe that's Psalm 64, I believe. Damn. Let me see real quick. I want to grab it. Yeah, Psalm 64:8, and it reads, so they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. You see? So you have these different whistleblowers and people who have been involved in these